Hey everybody, it's currently 12:45 at night. I haven't been around at all today to be able to work on this, so I'm finally putting this up. Again, another late video. I do apologize, but unfortunately life's been a little bit crazy. So these is part 4 of the top 10 albums of 2016. Today we're going over our fourth and third favorite albums of the year. Like I keep asking, if you do enjoy this, like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Let me know what you think are your favorite albums of 2016, or even your most surprising and most disappointing, or even your albums that you're looking forward to for 2017. Because trust me, I have a short list right now, but I would love to hear what you want to hear, so that I can have a full idea of what 2017 is going to offer. As you know, tomorrow is the Grammys, so tomorrow will be the last part of this video. So if you've been following around this whole entire series so far, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Josh and I worked very hard on this, and I'm glad that you hopefully enjoy this. The fifth part will be up tomorrow, and just a question for you. I'll also ask this next video. Would you like me to go over my takes of the Grammys once they pass? I could do something like that next week. I could potentially do that with Josh as well. I probably won't be able to have much time to watch it because of my schedule, but I could at least see who won and everything like that, and tell you if I believe that those are the right people that should have won. Because trust me, I have plenty of takes, and I could easily make another podcast with Josh. We hinted at it in the video. Fortunately, we didn't have time this week, but somewhere down the road, we can definitely talk about it. So, in any case, enjoy this, and I'll see you tomorrow for the last part of the video. Peace.
All right.
Number
As you can
four.
tell,
Yeah.
as we're getting closer to our top, we know so much more about our top five and
Exactly.
go deeper diving.
Oh
so
God, yes.
you know what we did our homework on.
So number 4 is A Moon-Shaped Pool by Radiohead. Now, he doesn't necessarily agree.
I'm trying.
It's fine. It's fine. So what I tell every single person who tries to get into Radiohead is there are so many different albums. There's so many different types of styles that you can't necessarily be like, I'm going to start from the beginning and work. I did that, and it worked out for me. But it's because I really like grunge. Their first CD, Pablo Honey, is much more grunge based, and their second CD, The Bends, is a lot more rock based. It's not until OK Computer where they finally get into a little bit more electronic / rock. And then it's all over the place with their next albums. Like King of Limbs, to me, is a very disappointing album, but it's also their most electronic album.
Yeah, that's what I've been told, and
Yeah.
I think that it sounds like, from what I've been hearing, that this is the album where if you haven't listened to Radiohead, this is your opportunity to kind of ease your way into what they
Get
are.
on the bandwagon.
It's just, the times I've tried listening to that, I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, so just like with Mon Iver, Radiohead doesn't have the most coherent lyrics.
No.
So you're not gonna be necessarily listening for that at first. You're gonna be listening for, in this particular album, it's a much more, it's a lot more stripped down from King of Limbs. There is still a little bit of electronic stuff. Like Identikit is a very awesome song. It is a very electronic song. But there's also a lot more just playing piano and just acoustic guitars. This is also not an album you're not gonna be able to find it on YouTube. You're only gonna probably find it on Spotify. You're not gonna find it the same way. You're probably gonna find a lot of live songs, but there's a really cool version of The Numbers, which is just acoustic. So Tom York and Greenwood, the guitarist, just doing their stuff. Fantastic, and it's just beautiful, and it's accessible, but it also uses so many different ideas that you don't usually hear from Radiohead. There's a song, Present Tense, which has a very, very interesting chord pattern and timing pattern. So
they've messed around with that.
Yeah, so they use a lot of that. So it's beautiful. It's a very beautiful album. I would say it's I think the most comparable album for them is probably Amnesiac, because it also had a little bit of guitar work and a lot less understated electronic work. So if you really like guitar work, if you really like just piano work and not necessarily so much electronic work, this will probably be your best album to get into Radiohead. And I'm not even talking about their singles. Burn the Witch was fantastic. Daydreaming is absolutely beautiful. It's probably their most beautiful song on the album. So give it a try. If you've never really got a chance to listen to Radiohead and this sounds like it's up your alley, go for it.
All right, I'll give it another go, man. I'll give it another shot. All right, number 4 for me, we're going to have to go with Queen Bee. Queen Bee, Miss Beyonce with Lemonade. She has arrived on my top 10. I'm putting her at number 4 because, in all honesty, I haven't been able to listen through it that much.
Right.
It is a hard album to get a hold of. If you don't have Tidal, sorry, you can't find it unless you buy it. And, well...
Oh no, horrible things in first world countries.
Yeah.
You can't listen to music.
I know, honestly. But so, I'm putting it at number 4 because the opportunity that I had to have listened to it and the songs that I have listened to it, to your point, Colin, you were mentioning it earlier, was it your number 9?
My number 9, yes.
That she attacks every genre, full force, and you can tell. I really want to watch the album. I think if I were to watch the album, that would really bring it up even higher for me because it just adds a whole other element. Again, from the clips that I've seen of it, every song in the video is very different scenarios.
Right.
And you're right, she does talk about like her whole relationship with Jay-Z, and of course there was all this drama and whatnot, and it was like a surprise release. People are like, oh wait, are they getting a divorce? Oh no, what's happening? No, Beyonce was just like, I'm gonna make this album friggin' so amazing and have people talking, and sure enough, it worked. She's up for so many noms, and rightfully so. She's Queen Bee. We can't stop it. I mean, she is just like, she's on fire, man.
Yeah.
Beyonce's owning it. She's got, I mean, friggin', she has one kid. How do you one-up that? You have twins. That's how you do it. And there she goes. Beyonce figured out how to one-up herself by having twins.
It's Beyonce's world. We're all just living in it.
It really is. And you know what? I'm okay with it. This album, friggin' great. I can't wait to listen to it some more.
But I also feel like, to play a little bit of devil's advocate, it kind of suffers from the same thing with David Bowie. And I'm not saying that it's not like it's not an amazing album. It's a fantastic album. I think it got as much of a publicity as it did because of the fact that it went on HBO out of nowhere, and then like now no one can hear it.
Yeah.
So
well, definitely. Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. The way that she released the album, and this is a thing I want to talk a little bit more about, is the way artists released albums in 2016 is drastically different from previous years, and that's due to the way that people consume content in this time. Like everyone, like streaming is now beating album sales, digital album sales for 2016, which that's an amazing feat. So it causes the artist to find new ways to release their albums. So you wonder if Beyonce just kind of put this out like any other album and not through HBO, and then only sold it on Amazon and iTunes, and only now you can stream it on Tidal. Would it have been as successful?
of course.
I think yes and no. I think it's picked up a lot of its progression because of how she was able to release that, and the way that artists are doing that nowadays with surprise albums and things like that. But to your point, it's Queen Bee.
And you'll hear more about that topic on his podcast.
Oh yes, I can't wait to get more into that. Okay,
exactly. So
number 3
is Esperanza Spalding's Emily's Deep Plus Evolution. It is so these 3 albums on the top. When I first listened to them, I was just like it was because
mind blown.
So for a little backstory, I have done these top 10s, top 50s before, but I haven't really been able to do it as much with time, with not getting any passion into it. Like 2014, 2015 for me was a little bit of a letdown for music.
Okay.
It wasn't until I listened to this particular album, I want to say in like June or July, that I was like, oh my God, like I need to get back into this. Because like at that point in time, it was my number 1 CD of the year.
Wow. All right.
So for people who don't know Esperanza Spalding, she was a Berkeley grad, Boston, Berkeley,
Boston.
not California, Berkeley. and she is a singer slash bass player. Fantastic.
I did not know that.
She I believe it was like 2011. She beat out Justin Bieber as the new best artist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Or was it 2012? Either way.
I know now. I know. Yep, I know what you're relating to.
So
Okay.
yeah, so her other stuff has been very jazzy, very pop jazzy, and it's been great. If you come into that same idea with this album, you are going to probably be disappointed. This is what I would call her, as the music snob, her jazz opus. It is phenomenal. It's not easily accessible, but if you give it a chance, you'll hear some amazing things. It's a little bit heavier than some of her other work, but it just deals with so many different things in such an interesting way. It's talking about society in general. Like, there's a song that she does called Conditional Love, which is talking about the idea that, like, you don't necessarily have to, like, it's talking about, like, the idea of monogamous relationships and, like, how things have changed over time and, like, it's conditional love. It's not, unconditional love. One way or the other.
I'm love.
Doing fantastic.
It's love, baby.
So it's just talking about the idea of also just the role of a man and a woman in a relationship. That the man doesn't have to be the one who's like always just like dominant and like.
All right.
And you also see it in the music video. It's much more of a give and take and equal idea.
Okay.
And just like there's also talks about society in general for people of African American descent, people of minority descent, just like in general, it is a clever way of talking about it, about like beating it over your head, like this is this, like, and it's I keep saying it, but it's a very beautiful CD as well.
It's a beautiful CD.
Not in the same way as Radiohead's beautiful, but like
this is a jazzy beautiful.
It's a jazzy beautiful. It's a powerful jazzy beautiful CD, which it'll probably take you. If you're not like a huge like jazz person, it may take you a couple times to listen to it, but it's worth it when you do.
When you mentioned how she won Best New Artist, now I was like, oh, that's who Esperanza Spalding is. Okay. So yeah, I haven't listened to her too much, but I know that she has more of a soulful, jazzy sound. So it's good to hear that this is way up there for you. I haven't had a chance to really explore this one, so that's definitely going to be a good album for me to check out to feel.
Yes.
I definitely yeah. Well, I like the concept of it, of her talking about monogamous relationships, men and women, of the whole thing about like it doesn't have to be a one-way thing.
Right.
Both people can be equal. It doesn't have to be like one person has to be dominant, this and that.
And not just like always obsessed with each other. Like you can also
you can own your own life.
Yeah.
But still be happy with each other, and like so it's like you both have your own cool thing going on. So when you are in that relationship together, it can be something even better.
Right.
I'm gonna check that out. Solid. Okay. What is it, number 3?
Yes, it is.
All right. Number 3 is going to go to Francis and the Lights. The album is called Farewell Starlight. Have you ever heard of Francis?
You've told me about him. I still have not been able to listen to him.
Oh man, you got to educate yourself.
I have heard of him through a couple different things. I'm trying to remember. I believe he's on the Chance song.
He is.
He is also, if you listen to the Hamilton mixtape,
yes, he does. Oh,
he does
God,
Theodosia. We're gonna talk about that CD a little bit later. It's a beautiful song on an undeserving CD.
Yes. So, Farewell Starlight is Francis's. I mean, he's had EPs before this, and I guess you could say he's had albums come out before this.
But like, how would you describe him? Like, what type of music is he? Because the way I see it, he's like he's not a rap artist. Right?
No, he's not. The best way to describe him. Oh, the perfect way of describing Francis. Francis Farewell Starlight. He is the modern day Phil Collins.
Okay.
Like, to the point where he, of course, takes a lot of his own personal style to it. But, if you were to play this album in front of somebody who doesn't know who Francis is, they'd be like, oh, this sounds like Phil Collins to me. So he does have some upbeat songs in this album. and you would be like, yeah, I'm jamming. This is cool. Like, and even like it has some. There can be some a little bit of Michael Jackson feel in there too. And I think he definitely gets some inspiration from Phil Collins. But to the point of it being a more modern style is that he does take electronic approach, and it's not ambient, like kind of like a spacey sound.
Okay.
It's a very light-hearted album, and the whole point of Farewell, the story of Farewell Starlight, you can interpret it in multiple ways, but it's a story about him. Either the way I've interpreted it, it's a matter of either he's just getting out of a relationship, or he's not sure where he is in it, and he's like getting himself back out there, or trying to reconnect with this girl, or himself in a sense. You could look into it that way. There's so many different ways you can interpret this album. This puts me through so many feels. I was lucky enough to see him perform live. He opened for Chance, and that's how most people would probably know Francis, is that he has produced a lot of music with Chance. He has, surprisingly, if you didn't know this, produced music for Drake.
Really?
He's also produced music with Kanye. And the song Friends, he does with Bon Iver,
Okay.
Kanye West, and Francis and the Lights.
Small world.
Exactly. So there's a lot of songs that you all have probably listened to that you really jam out to, and you probably don't know this, but Francis most likely had some involvement in that style. This album, I could listen to it all day long. I mean, even just like, I could listen to the first song forever. It's, man, it can bring you to tears. It's really, really something.
So is this his like first album as himself, or?
Yes, in a while.
Okay.
He has older content, and if you listen to it, you can really hear his progression as an artist.
Okay.
It's really cool, because he does have that synth, not pop, but like it's a very synth, open, ambient sound. And in his older music, he actually did have a band, a few people, and now it's mainly just Francis. But that's why Francis and the Lights.
Right.
I highly, highly recommend watching all of his music videos, because he does use light and exposure in a very interesting way, where he kind of turns the light into a style of music.
Okay.
And he does that very well in his live performances as well. This dude, like, cool dance moves as well, like white dude dance moves, but like I think he's great. And it's really, again, amazing to see him being put more in the limelight. And I'm so excited to see what more he creates on his own. To see what he can create for other people, what he does on his own with this album. Really great. Really phenomenal.
The way you're talking about it, I definitely have to take a listen to it.
Yes, man, I keep telling you.
I
I keep recommending it.
I'm sorry I have 100 and so
I
many
know,
other
there's
albums
so many
to
out there,
listen
but honestly, Francis and the Lights, listen to him. Farewell Starlight, his latest album, it's great.